Hi everyone and welcome back to Let's Play The Sims 4 with the Baker family, and in this part we are still with Lee and Henry, although this is probably going to be the last part with these two before we go back to the main Baker household in a way. And in this part I really want to focus on Lee because as I was editing the last video of this series when Henry and Lee went on a date at the museum, I completely forgot to have Lee look at 3 paintings, which was actually the reason why I went there in the first place, since this was something that he needed to do for his aspiration. And that is actually when I realized that so far in this series I haven't been focusing on Lee as much as I should have. So this part is going to be all about him and especially about what has been going on in his mind, and believe me, quite a bit has been happening. Because even though things seems to be going pretty well for Lee at work, it's actually not the case. He got a few promotions, his performance is really great, and his boss seems to be very pleased with his work, but Lee is really not happy at his job right now. And as you might have seen, I have been trying to get him to meet some of his co-workers at work and socialize with them and, if possible, befriend them, but he has been struggling to do that, and that's because he actually doesn't really like the people that he's working with and also the people that he's working for. Something that you have to know about Lee is that he's very ambitious, and that's also one of the main reasons why he wants to open his own art gallery and be his own boss. And in a few days ago, if not a few weeks ago, he started thinking about one day going freelance. That was just an idea that popped into his head one morning as he was getting ready for work and really didn't want to go there, but he thought that it was just crazy thinking and that it was just a thought that he had at that moment. But he just kept thinking about that idea and even started planning how he would make that idea come true. But Lee hasn't said a word to Henry about that. Since the wedding, Henry has been very excited to move forward in their life and go on their honeymoon, plan the art gallery, and why not save some money for the day they would have kids. And Lee feels that if he talks about going freelance to Henry and basically tell him that he would quit his job, Henry would get mad at him because that meant putting their plan on hold until Lee would manage to earn enough money to start planning the future again. So Lee really tried to get close to some of his coworkers in hope to talk to them about that idea and have an unbiased opinion in a way on the situation, but as I said, it just didn't click with his coworkers. So now Lee feels really stuck in his life, work-wise, and he doesn't really know what to do. So that's pretty much what has been going on so far in Lee's mind, and right now in the episode I'm actually picking up right where we left off in the last part, or maybe just a couple hours later, because I actually did play a little bit on my own very quickly so that I could have Lee go to the museum, look at 3 paintings, and take care of the step of his milestone that I completely forgot last time. And as Henry was on his way back home from work, Lee sent him a text telling him that he was going to go and check out the new art center that has opened in Newcrest, and that if Henry wanted to, he could come and join him later. Although I don't think Henry is going to join Lee later, because even though these two, you know, right now things are going really well between them, you know, they're going strong, they're newlyweds, and they're getting ready for their honeymoon. When you're living with someone all the time and you spend all of your time with someone, it's nice sometimes to just spend some time away from each other. And basically Henry is just going to spend the night into the house having some alone time with himself, while Lee is going to go and check out this new art center in Newcrest and hopefully not spend too much time alone. And he has this, in a way, crazy hope to meet someone there in a non-romantic way, by the way. Just meet someone that he could maybe talk to and have a chance to become friends with, to maybe one day talk about becoming freelancer to them and have this unbiased opinion in a way that he would like to get from someone else. Because Lee doesn't really have any friends. He's friends, of course, with Henry and with Henry's family, but these are biased opinions, you know, and he needs someone outside from this private sphere that he's used to, basically. So as I said, Lee is right now at the art center that I have built, so the link will be in the description if you're interested to go ahead and check it out. This is an art center that I have built especially for this series, and it was inspired by the art school that I went to just right after high school, when I left high school. But I talk about all of this in the speed build, so make sure to check that out. And you have everything you need in this area, and as I said, it's in Newcrest. It's on the 30 by 30 lot in the kind of upper class area of Newcrest. But anyway, this is the art center. I'm actually really proud of this build if you couldn't tell. But right now, let's see who we have here. There is Fatima Jouad, we have Advik. I'm probably going to try and stay away as much as possible from the music room because I think Sims are just going to make a whole lot of noise from that room. Who else do we have here? There is Anaya Jang, who is I think is a coworker of Henry, but not Henry Lee, but he doesn't seem to be meeting her. So let's go ahead and introduce ourselves to Anaya finally and try to meet her, because I really think that Anaya would be a good person to talk to and get some good advice from. And I don't know, I really think that Lee would like her. So let's just try to meet her. And even though technically she's his coworker, maybe they're not working in the same building and that's why he didn't meet her. Or at least I think she's working there. Can we ask her about her career? Let's go ahead, ask about career. Yes, it says coworkers, so they must be coworkers. Because I really see the two of them becoming friends and sometimes hanging out together. But maybe they're just not working in the same building. Maybe they have the same career, but not the same job, you know. Let's go ahead and get to know her. Discuss interest, maybe. Maybe he wanted to use that easel and she was already on it, so now he's just stuck talking to her. Can we try maybe to continue the mural? This way, this will work on his painting skill. He learned that Anaya was a music lover. Cool. Then let's go ahead and discuss work, because apparently we never saw her there, so maybe he can tell her, well, apparently we're working at the same place, but I never saw you. Where do you work? And she's probably going to tell him that she's not working for the same company as he does. They just have the same career and they're probably the same job title or something. They just don't work for the same company. And he can maybe gossip about coworkers and tell her some of the dirty gossip that he learned from some of the people that he's currently working with. Since technically they're not working in the same building, in the same company, maybe he can feel a little bit more free to talk about his coworkers that he doesn't really seem to like that much. And she found that funny. That's cool. He can maybe start talking about his dream and tell her, I like my job, but I would love to one day have... Actually, he's talking about dream and he's talking about a gravestone. That's strange. Maybe because his job is just killing him right now and he wishes for something better. Let's go and propose a crazy scheme. Maybe that's when he's going to start talking about, you know, I would love to become a freelancer and go and do some illustrations on my own and try to save up as much money as I could to one day open my own art gallery. And I'm sure that this is something that Anaya would love to one day, open her own art gallery. Their relationship is increasing quite well. I'm actually really pleased by that. I was sure that these two would get along pretty well. Let's go and discuss interest, and he could definitely describe an idea if I see that again. Although today it's still the neighborhood brawl, so we still have those fight interactions here, which I really do not want to do. Complain about work, definitely. But of course, gameplay-wise in The Sims, since Lee is already at the level 6 of the painting skill, he would be earning quite a bit of money. But realistically speaking, when you leave your job and you start as a freelancer, it can be quite difficult to make ends meet, and Lee is aware of that. And I kind of want to play realistically on that part. Let's go and compliment art, because even though it looks very childish, maybe this is her style, maybe this is how she wants to do it. Discuss the color theory. But maybe Anaya once had this idea also of becoming a freelancer, but then she became a mother and she had other responsibilities and she just realized that it was maybe a little bit too late for her, or maybe she had to wait a little bit longer before she could become a freelancer or maybe open her art gallery, because she had the responsibility of her daughter. And even though she was married and all of that, nowadays having just 2 salaries to feed one household, basically to take care of one household, it's not enough, especially when you have children. And maybe this is going to make Lee think about leaving his job soon, because right now he technically doesn't have any responsibilities. He's married, yes, but they don't have any children. They have technically no responsibilities other than themselves, if that makes any sense. So I think Lee, by talking to Anaya, this is giving him hope, you know, that he could maybe talk to Henry. He just needs to find the words and when and how to tell him, and also when to take that big decision of leaving his job. But he's really coming to the decision of quitting his job eventually, even before he opens his art gallery, before he has kids. He just wants to be as happy as he can, and whenever he will have kids, he wants to show them that it is possible to make your dreams come true. So I don't think I'm going to have him leave his job right now. I'm probably going to wait a little bit on that. But it's going to happen. He's going to leave his job soon. Although it's actually 1:30 in the morning, I didn't realize. So what I'm going to do is have him stop paint that mural. I'm going to have him go back home. And tomorrow he's going to come back here and paint as many paintings as he can, try to meet as many people as he can. And look at that, he was also talking to... What is your name? You came with Island Living. Layla. Layla Ills? Isles? I'm not sure how you... Insult, scare, yell at. Oh, apparently he doesn't like her. I thought things were going pretty well between them, but apparently not. at least, you know, things went pretty well with Anaya, so maybe we can invite her over here tomorrow, because I really want to come back here with Lee tomorrow, and as I said, paint and paint and paint to be able to get excellent paintings. And Lee is just going to try and get more confident about his art and about his painting skill, because right now he just thinks that he's not good enough to become a freelancer. He just needs to believe a bit more in himself. And I think getting away a little bit from the house and from his routine is a good idea. This way he can breathe, you know, he can make his mind breathe and breathe himself, you know, just go out and change his mindset basically. So tomorrow we'll go back to the art center, and hopefully soon we'll be able to talk to Henry about that idea, and maybe Henry will not be as mad as Lee thinks he will be about that idea. Maybe Henry is actually going to welcome that idea with open arms. Maybe he's going to be very happy that Lee is taking such a big step in his life. Who knows? Alright, I'm just resuming very quickly. It's the next morning, Lee is still asleep, and Henry just went on a jog, and he received a call from Zoe, who told him, "Why didn't you tell me he was already in a relationship?" And she's talking about Thomas, because if you remember in the last part, Henry hooked up Zoe with Thomas, and apparently Thomas is already in a relationship, but we know that he's not. So what is up with that? He's not in a relationship whatsoever. He was kind of interested in you. He had a romantic relationship with you, or actually the very beginning of one, but he's not in a relationship at all. What's up with that? Okay, it's literally 20 seconds later. I just clicked OK on the previous message, and Zoe just said, "Thanks for setting us up. Thomas and I are going out." Was it just a joke then? I don't understand. Or was it just a joke that she told us? Like, why didn't you tell me that he was already in a relationship with me? Is it what she was doing? I don't know. That's just very strange. But yay! Apparently Thomas and Zoe are going out. Oh, I'm so excited to go back with the main baker's household. I'm going to call them the main baker's household because all of the family members have the baker's last name. But I'm so excited to go back with them to check on Thomas and Zoe's relationship. Although next time we'll be back with that household. Henry, Thomas, and Charles will be going on a camping trip together, which I'm so excited for as well. I'm really, really excited about that trip. Alright, it's a little bit later in the day. It's actually midday, and Lee just woke up, or actually just woke up. He woke up maybe a couple hours ago. He used the bathrooms and took a shower. Right now, I was actually thinking, because I got the notification that it was the flea market right now in San Myshuno, and I thought that this was the kind of festivals that Lee would really enjoy to go to, but I also really want for him to go back to the art center, and I really want to focus a bit more on his aspiration. So maybe next time we'll be with these guys. We could go to the flea market. That could be fun actually, and maybe they could buy things for their future home. Oh, it's Yvette. Yvette is passing by. But yeah, I think it could be cool to go to the flea market, even though right now we're mainly focusing on the Get to Work expansion pack. I kind of want to go also to San Myshuno and sometimes explore some festivals and stuff like that. Could be fun. So yeah, we'll see next time. Right now I really want for Lee to go to the art center and get away from this house that's breaking down. Lee just arrived at the art center, and I had him ask Anaya to join him, and as you can see, their relationship is really high. I think they're pretty much almost friends, so let's try to improve their relationship. Although I really do not like her outfit right now. Maybe I should give her a makeover if she becomes a bit more of an important character in this series. I still have to give Zoe a makeover as well. But I would love for these two to become friends at least. Not necessarily good friends or best friends, but at least friends. And I'm pretty sure they're close. Oh, he has a good reputation. When introducing himself to new Sims, Lee has a chance to start a relationship off with a higher amount of friendship, as his reputation now precedes him. I guess that's because he just became friends with Anaya, and she's romantic. So maybe she can be a good person to talk to, especially because both her and Henry are very romantic people, apparently. Why are you so shocked? She's okay. But yeah, since these two are very romantic people, maybe she can take a good, maybe she can take the side of Henry a little bit more and yet understand Lee and his decision to quit his job, so she could be a very good person to talk to. Although right now, since it's a very beautiful day— oh, look at that painting! This is so cool! Can I keep it? Oh, I cannot. I can purchase it, but I cannot. Can I? I can't even move it. So can I maybe get rid of this one because this one is not that pretty. It was made by Angela Pleasant. Can I scrap it? I don't want to purchase this one. What I'm gonna do is maybe put it somewhere in the building. I don't really know where to put it though. Actually, I had put those paintings here because I didn't really know what to put on that wall, but maybe we can delete those and this can be the wall where we can put some of the paintings that people have painted. We can pretend that it was Angela Pleasant when she was a child. Let's try... I kind of want to try realism, surrealism. I don't know. Classic paintings, like, let's try a classic painting. Let's try a large one. And I'm pretty sure that he became friends with Anaya, so I don't really know where she went to. Did she go to the music room? No, she didn't. I love the fact that there are so many people in this build. This is the cool thing actually when you're building something in The Sims and then you see The Sims using whatever you've built. This is really cool. I don't know where she went. Oh, she's upstairs. I think she's going to get something to eat. Yes, she is. We could go ahead and talk to her a little bit more later, but at least you know now, Lee has someone to hang out with and someone that he can talk to and be open with. And he can maybe start relieving, I guess this is how you would say that, you know, get some relief on the weight that he has right now on his shoulders because of this desire that he has to become a freelancer. That was a very long sentence. Oh, she's coming to talk to him. That's really cool. But yeah, that was a very long sentence because I really don't know how to express it otherwise. But basically, yeah, now he has someone to talk to and that makes me really happy because Henry, he has his brother and he also is very sociable and he can make friends very easily, while for Lee I think it's a bit more difficult. Maybe she's coming to talk to him about what he talked to her about yesterday, you know, this desire to become a freelancer, and she had the night to think about that and give him some advice maybe. Let's talk about dreams again. Maybe she just told him that it was a pretty nice idea, but he needs to talk about that without taking any definitive decisions to his husband. He needs to talk to Henry about that. And then they can take a decision together and they can be okay. She's not telling him that it's going to be necessarily easy to talk to that, to talk about that to Henry, but at least maybe this is going to help Lee decide. Oh yay, it was a good painting! An excellent one. It's actually really pretty. Let's go and put that into his inventory and paint another one. Let's try a confident painting. Let's see what he can do. And he wants to tell an unbelievable story, so let's do that, I guess. Tell an unbelievable story. But I think Anaya would have good advice. I mean, now they're friends, so maybe he's going to be a bit more relaxed with her and not be as formal as he was yesterday, and not necessarily only talk about work, but maybe talk about different things. He can share some ideas. Maybe he's going to submit to her some pre-made sentences, pre-made quotes that he can eventually tell to Henry to tell him that he wants to quit his job, basically. But this is definitely a conversation that's very scary to Lee. He's definitely very scared about how Henry is going to react to that. But I'm pretty sure that Henry will understand. Hopefully he will understand. But yeah, he's not going to force his husband to do something that he doesn't like just because they need the money. Oh, Thomas, I heard you became friends with Anaya Jang. She's pretty cool. Thank you, Thomas. That's actually kind of creepy because we just became friends with her this morning. Because Henry is at home right now. Maybe he went to the gym with Thomas, and maybe yesterday when Lee came back home, or maybe this morning, Lee talked about Anaya to Henry, and since Henry went to the gym with his brother, maybe Henry talked to Thomas about Anaya. And Thomas, being very family-oriented and very happy for Lee, he decided to text him and tell him, yay, that's cool, you made a new friend. Someone, though, that Lee could talk to about that would be Yvette. Yvette, I think, would be very good at keeping secrets, and she would have very good advice to give to Lee. So maybe something that we could think about doing would be to have Yvette and Lee go out, just the two of them. Maybe go to the restaurant and have a good conversation. Oh, another good painting. Good. Good. Let's go and put that back into your inventory, and let's try... I kind of want to try another classic painting and another large one, because usually I go for the impressionism painting because this is my favorite art style. But classic paintings, they tend to be very good in The Sims 4, and the paintings are actually very different from each other. Hi. Brittany Cho, do you really want to be admired right now? Because we have other things to do, and I really appreciate the fact that Lee doesn't care about her. Because Brittany Cho, if you go to her star on the Walk of Fame in Del Sol Valley, for some reason I always forget the name of that world. When you go and check out her star, apparently she became famous because of all the good deeds that she's done, and yet every time my Sims go and talk to her, she tends to be very mean and mischievous. So I'm not so sure that she's done so many good deeds. Maybe she just bought that star. And yes, he just reached painting level 7. He can now create high-skill pop art, medium-skilled surrealism, and medium impressionistic paintings. Okay, and this painting looks very pretty as well. I think we're going to not scrap as many paintings as we did before. Something that we could think about getting as well would be one of those panels on which we can sell some of the paintings that we can make, you know, that came with City Living. I don't remember how it's called, but you can use it to sell paintings, for example, at the flea market. So maybe next time we're with these guys, maybe we can go to the flea market and sell some of Lee's paintings there to try and make a bit more money. And maybe this is when he's going to realize that he can actually be a good businessman in some ways and make money without having to have his job. And I'm pretty sure that his paintings are worth quite a bit of money. Let's see. This one was 828 simoleons. I'm pretty sure we can make quite a bit of money. Hopefully next week, maybe next Sunday. I think every Sunday we have the flea market. So I think next Sunday we'll go to the flea market with Lee and Henry, and Lee will be selling some of his paintings. Why did I keep this one already? Because it's not looking that great. Well, in any case, we can maybe sell it at the flea market. I'd like to check as well if there are maybe some that I would like to keep. Although this one I'm probably just going to scrap it, to be honest. But yeah, maybe this is going to be a good first experience for Lee to see if his paintings are actually worth something. So basically if his art is worth anything, and this way, if he realizes that he can actually make money selling his paintings, maybe by becoming a freelancer he could believe in himself and first of all become a freelancer and then make money as a freelancer. And maybe this is also going to be an example for Henry, just in case, you know, in case Henry maybe doesn't like that idea, maybe Lee can prove to him that he can actually make money that way. But they will have to have this conversation eventually. Lee really wants to be as open and honest as he can with his husband, but sometimes things are scary and you're scared to say something. Can I scrap it? No, I can't. Well then, put it in your inventory. We'll sell it at the flea market. So let's go for another large painting. Usually I go for medium because they're a little bit cheapest, but I'd like to see the different large paintings that you can actually paint, because this is actually one aspect of The Sims 4. I think I talked about that already, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. But this is an aspect of The Sims 4 that I did not really explore that much. Last time I played with the artistic skills such as paintings and the Painter Extraordinaire Inspiration was around the time when Get Together came out, so it was a long time ago. So I'm really curious to see what Lee can actually paint. And I think after he's done with this painting, I'm going to have him go ahead and use the bathrooms. Also, I think he works tomorrow, so maybe not going back home as late as we did yesterday, because also he's a little bit tired because he needs to be in a good mood to work tomorrow. So yeah, he's not going to quit his job right away. He needs to find a good time to tell, or actually to get ready to tell Henry that he would like to quit his job. And this way these two, they can have a good conversation and plan the future a little bit differently than they have so far. But I think by talking to Anaya, Lee realizes that his idea of going freelance is not as crazy as he thought it was. That's also probably another reason why he's feeling a bit more reassured and a bit more confident, because as you can see, he's definitely feeling confident about his art. Maybe Anaya encouraged him a little bit more. And this painting looks also very pretty. He's doing really well. Also, the reason why I placed this art center around here is because the point of view from this area is actually really pretty. So I was thinking when we'll be back here with Lee, and I was also thinking that if he ever becomes a freelancer, he could come here and work here as if, you know, it was his workplace, just like Henry and Thomas have their workplace. Here, this would be Lee's workplace, and he could come here, take his easel with him and paint from reference here and there sometimes. And of course, I know that as a freelancer, no, but thank you. I know that as a freelancer you need to use the tablet, the special graphic tablet, but he can use it to paint whatever he needs to paint and then use his easel to continue working on his aspiration. But let's go ahead, use the bathrooms, and then I think I'm just going to have him head on back to the house. So what I'm gonna do, guys, is actually end this part here. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like how I try to develop Lee's story and Henry and Lee's storyline. This is actually something that happens in my head whenever I'm playing on my own, and I kind of struggle when it comes to doing that into series and let's plays because it's a little bit overwhelming at first. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you like it, just let me know and I'll try to be a bit more just like I am in my head when I'm playing, and try to add a bit more of a storytelling element into this series while keeping some gameplay. I know that I had a lot of chatting at the beginning and in the middle of the episode, but I really hope you enjoyed it anyway. Anyway, just let me know in the comments what you think. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye everyone!